This is a festive season. On an ordinary day, we should be with our families enjoying. However, in the wake of abductions, ladies and gentlemen, I've thought it wise to leave the comfort of my home and come and teach you about some little tactics of how the government traces you, and also some self-defense tactics against abduction. So we're going to talk about abductions. Now, abductions don't just happen. They begin with what we call trailing. So the abduction will most likely begin with trailing and surveillance. Yeah, to begin with trailing and surveillance. Now, the government nowadays is very lazy because of technology. So because of that technology, they found easier ways to trail you and surveil you. So you need to understand these digital tactics that the government uses, and then what you do with that information is really to your own safety. Number one, Safaricom or any line whatsoever, but most notoriously Safaricom. Now, if you have a Safaricom SIM card, how a SIM card works is that it communicates to the nearest cell tower. Therefore, they are able to use a process called triangulation. They are able to use a process called triangulation to approximate the area where you are. And the people who do this mostly is NIS and DCI, a department called CRIB. So there's a department in DCI, it's called the Criminal Research and Intelligence Bureau, and there's the National Intelligence Service. So mostly they are the ones who are going to do this because they have back-end access to Safaricom. And because they have that back-end access, they are able to trace your location. Na inakujanga kama Google Map pin. So they're able to follow that pin to an approximate of where you are. So you need to know this about the Safaricom line. So if you're up to something or you know that you're being trailed, you may need to remove your line. Now there's another thing I need to tell you about your Safaricom line. There is something about your phone called an IMEI, an IMEI number. Now, even if you know they are trailing you and you remove this SIM card and you throw it away, but you buy another SIM card registered in your name or even in another person's name, but you still put it in the same phone, they are going to use the IMEI to get your new number. So even if the new number is going to be registered in a different, name, they're going to use your IMEI number and they're going to get your new number. You need to be careful on that one. So you may have to throw away your phone and your SIM card, or keep away your phone and your SIM card and use a different one. Some of you believe that ukiwa na katululu ama kamulika mwizi you cannot be traced. That's very false. That's not true. You can be traced with any device, including katululu. So be aware of that. Number two, all right, on the issue of tracking and tracing is KPLC. Now, so KPLC is very notorious for giving out your location. And KPLC knows literally where 90% of Kenyans live, especially if you have electricity. How they know is because of your meter number. Now, you will remember that whenever someone applies for a meter number from KPLC, they always provide the plot number. And whenever KPLC comes to give a quotation, they usually take the coordinates of that place. So because of this meter number and because of the national grid of the KPLC, they can use your meter number where you pay tokens to know your house. That is why sometimes you wonder, unapata wamekuja, wameenda hadi 5th floor, wameingia hadi number C1. It's because they know your meter number where you pay your token. So they're going to know your house. Again, as I told you, what you do with that information is really up to you. Number 3 is your phone. And here I want to specifically speak about something called Pegasus. Now, Pegasus is a hacking software, a surveillance software that was developed in Israel that Kenya bought for billions of shillings. Of course, there was corruption. There's corruption even in NIS. And what it does is that it sends a text to your phone. Now, Pegasus, unlike other hacking softwares, they don't have to touch your phone. Sio lazima washike simu yako for them to install Pegasus. They just need to send you a message. Once the message enters your phone, it downloads the software into your phone. Now, one of the ways to know whether you have been attacked by Pegasus is you leave your phone on the table, you're not using it, then you come back and find that your phone is hot. Unaacha simu kwa meza, unakuja unapata iko na joto. The reason is it's transferring information somewhere. And once Pegasus is in your phone, they can do everything. They can turn on your GPS, they can turn on your Wi-Fi, they can connect to the nearest Wi-Fi, they can read your messages, they can read your WhatsApp, they can check your M-Pesa, they have your contact list. There is nothing they cannot do if they've infected your phone with Pegasus. Nothing at all. So now, if they've hacked you using Pegasus, the following things are going to happen. Number one, they will access your information. They'll access your data. Everything you do, including calls. Number two, they'll turn on your mic. So there's a microphone in your phone. They'll turn on that mic and listen to you real time. Like as you are talking, they're listening. The third thing they'll do is they'll turn on your camera. So they cannot just listen. They can also take a photo of you or a photo of your surrounding as you're holding your phone. That's what they can do with your phone when they hack it. And as I've told you, they don't have to access your phone. It's not like these hackers who send you a suspicious email, you click on the link, then they hack your phone. No. This one, if they send it to your phone, you don't need to do anything. They've hacked it. Now, if you have the following things in your phone, you need to be careful. Number one, a loan app. A loan app. If you have a loan app on your phone, most apps that you use to borrow loans, what is it that a loan app usually asks you whenever you download it? Number one is allow contacts, allow the loan app to access your contacts. Number two, allow the loan app to read your messages, allow the loan app to access your photos. Now, the people are controlling loan apps in Kenya. They have access to your photos. So if you have nudes in your phone and you think somebody else doesn't have them, you need to think again. Okay? That's how much information the loan app can access. The loan app can read your messages because the reason they usually request to read your messages is to determine whether you are worthy of a loan. So they'll see your messages, maybe how many other loan are you borrowing from other places. Are there people who are asking you to pay them back money that you've taken from them? From your messages, they are able to know what business you do and what you are involved in. Imagine this is personal data that they are accessing inside your phone. So if you have a loan app, you should know that everything that goes on in your phone, there's a likelihood that the loan app servers have it. Okay? Number two, a dating app. Now, they can either read your messages inside a dating app or they can come to you as a person wanting to date you. Now, the government has limitless resources. And NIS is allocated an unlimited budget of billions of shillings. And because people are greedy, sometimes they usually steal that money. But whenever they put it to good use or to bad use, whichever the case, they can actually send someone to date you. It can be a lady, it can be a gentleman, it can be anything, depending on who you are and what you like. So they cannot lack $1 million or 200,000 or 50,000 or 10 million to give to someone to date you. In fact, they themselves, they have beautiful ladies and handsome gentlemen who can be given a quick Range Rover. They come and show you a lot of razzmatazz and glamour. You fall in love, and they start surveilling you. So they can either do it to surveil you for information, or they can do it to kill you. So death is also a possibility. So dating app. Number 3 is Google Maps. Now if you have Google Maps on your phone, just go to the settings, you'll see something called Google Timeline. And if your Google Timeline is on, itakuchorea everywhere you've gone with a blue kind of thing. So if this is Google Timeline, it's going to show you everywhere you've been to. Itasema ulitoka hapa, ukakuja Umoja, ukaenda town, ukakuja Donholm, ukakuja Westi, ukateremka Mombasa Road, Mlolongo. It's going to draw everything every day, not just one day. As long as it's on, Google Timeline is drawing everywhere you go every day. So they can access it. They can know where you are on the 11th of November and where you went after that because of Google Maps. All right. Number 4. I'm now telling you about the kind of apps which, if you have in your phone, they're going to be dangerous. Sometimes they use game apps. So sometimes you may download a game app thinking that you've downloaded an app for a game, but this app is accessing other information around your phone. So it's